your
Absolutely.
ban?
Absolutely. I think that as an Israeli, I would like to see the two-state solution alive, kept alive. It will be a major disaster if this option is abandoned or lost. And therefore, given the fact that I think that it will be impossible for Israel to take a decision on the final borders today, given all these upheavals in the Arab world, then we should at least go for the interim on the way towards the two-state solution. So I think that this is the only option.
And do you think, we hear that he's still active, although he resigned, do you think Saeb Erekat, the central figure of the Palestinian negotiating team for so long, do you think that Saeb Erekat will have a part to play in the negotiations whenever they start?
I have no doubt, because first of all, he is the collective memory of the negotiations on the Palestinian side. He has been in every negotiation, every round, whether they were on the interim or the full or whatever. And he is a very able and skilled negotiator. The Palestinians cannot give up these assets, and so I guess that in one capacity or another, he will be involved in the negotiations in the future.
Well, I'm sure that will be good news for the negotiations. Anyway, we'll see if it is. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Iran, and being so clear and on the ball. And we thank you very much, and we look forward to returning to get your impressions a few months from now.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Cricket fans from all over the world are focusing on Bangladesh at the moment, the joint host with India and Sri Lanka of the Cricket World Cup. The tournament is providing welcome relief there in the country where the headlines are usually dominated by corruption and political upheaval. So it's the perfect time to speak to Sheikh Hasina, the Bangladeshi Prime Minister. She spent months under house arrest in 2007 and 2008 at the instigation of the then military-backed government. Upon her release, she promptly won the election at the end of 2008. I met her again during her recent visit to London. Sheikh Hasina, it's a joy to have you with us again. Since we were last talking here, it's been a busy way in many ways. You spent how long in solitary confinement before you returned to power?
11 months, yes. Remember, at first they filed case against me, warrant issue warrant. Then when I decided to go back, then they prevented me, the caretaker government, Fakhruddin government. So I forced to go back, and I received tremendous support from you and all our overseas friends, and also inside the country people supported, so they couldn't stop me. When I returned home, and after that they arrested me. So when they decided to give election, then they released me and other leaders, and the election was held in 2008, December, in the month of December 2008. So through that election, people voted for us. Then I formed government.
Right. And the opposition is Khalida Zia.
Yes.
The two of you have had a titanic struggle for years, haven't you? Does it still go on, or do you ever have tea together? No, it's
Listen,
tougher than that. Yeah.
No, it's a multi-party system, and each party has its own ideology, own way of working things. So definitely the differences is there, but we struggle for democracy together, no doubt about it.
And of course, the other thing that's happened since you were last here is you lost your husband too, didn't you?
Oh yes, it's very sad.
What happened?
Because when they arrested, he was sick, and when they arrested me, they misbehaved with him. Since then, he became very sick. And as because I was in captivity, actually, then he was in the hospital. So after election, he became more sick. So because of the illness, he died.
How has it changed your life?
Well, you know, I am busy with my people, my work, but yes, I am alone. The loneliness is there,
Yeah.
but still, as because I am devoted myself to my people, so I am working. I am keeping myself busy with people's work.
And is everybody writes about corruption in terms of several countries, but in terms of Bangladesh, is that the biggest problem you face in government?
Well, you know, the previous government, during BNP government, they indulged in corruption, nepotism, and also they encouraged the terrorism. That is really very big problem. But I can tell you one thing, since I formed government, nobody could accuse any of my ministers or any corruption. But the corruption, as because our country run by the military ruler, military dictator, so corruption become a big problem, no doubt about it. But we have been trying our best to face this situation and to work for our development, and we are doing it very well, because during our last economic fiscal year, our annual development project, we have implemented about 92%. It's a very good progress, very good progress. So we are doing well.
And how much of a problem is the Islamic extremists in Bangladesh?
Listen, the extremists are extremists. The extremists or terrorists, they have no religion, no border. Our government, we have taken very strong stand against terrorist activists. So we will not allow our soil to use anybody for doing any kind of terrorist activities. Though our people in general, they are very much secular minded, open minded, they are very, generous people. So we are working together, because the terrorists always create problem for development. And I am really fortunate, and I appreciate my people, they understand that. So they never, give any kind of support to them.
Have you had your life threatened in the time you've been in the hurly-burly of Bangladeshi politics?
Several times.
Really?
Several times. Several times I faced this problem. And the recent one in 2004, 21st August, there was a grenade attack, but I was survived, but 22 people died. So the threat is there, but when you devoted yourself for the right cause of a people, you shouldn't think about it. God has given me life, Allah has given me life. When time will come, I have to go.
Yeah.
But as long as I am alive, I will work for my people. So I don't care for that.
That's really interesting. It's great to have you with us again, Sheikh Hazina. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Most people will instantly remember him as Gareth from the award-winning romantic